Welcome to the Academy of English Excellence. In our previous session, we explored the 8 parts of speech, which function as the building blocks of our language. Today, we are going to focus on the structure that holds those blocks together, the English tense system. If nouns and verbs are the materials of a building, tenses are the timeline of that building's history. They tell us when an action happened, whether it is finished, or if it is still occurring. Many learners find tenses intimidating, but they are actually very logical. In English, we work with 3 primary time periods: the past, the present, and the future. To provide precision, each of these 3 periods is divided into 4 specific aspects: simple, continuous, perfect, and perfect continuous. This creates a total of 12 tenses. Today, we will walk through all 12 of them, moving through time from the present to the past, and finally to the future, using clear explanations and real-life examples. Part 1. The present tenses. We begin our journey with the present tenses. These are the most frequently used tenses in daily conversation because they describe our current reality, our daily habits, and the actions happening right now. In English, the present is divided into 4 distinct types: the present simple, the present continuous, the present perfect, and the present perfect continuous. Let us begin with the first and most fundamental one: the present simple. The present simple is used for facts, general truths, and habits. It is the most basic form of a verb. We use it to describe things that are permanently true or happen regularly in a repeating cycle. For example, if you discuss a habit, you might say, "I drink coffee every morning." If you are stating a general truth about the world, you would say, "The sun rises in the east." Even for a professional fact, we use this tense, such as, "The Academy of English Excellence provides high-quality lessons." Now that we understand how to describe habits, we need a way to describe what is happening at this very second. For this, we move to our second type, the present continuous. The present continuous describes an action that is in progress exactly at this moment. We form this by using the helping verb am, is, or are, followed by a verb ending in ing. A perfect example is what you are doing right now. You are listening to this podcast. If you look out the window and see rain falling, you would say, "It is raining outside." This tense is all about the immediate now. The third type of present tense is often the most confusing for learners: the present perfect. We use the present perfect for actions that happened at an unspecified time in the past, but still have a strong connection to the present. We form this using have or has plus the past participle of the verb. We use this when the specific time doesn't matter, but the experience does. For instance, I have visited London 3 times. It also works for a continuous state that started years ago but is still true. She has lived here for 10 years. Finally, we reach the fourth type, the present perfect continuous. This tense is used when you want to emphasize the duration or the length of an action that started in the past and is still continuing. It is formed using have been or has been plus the ing verb. If you started studying 2 hours ago and you are still at your desk, you would say, "I have been studying English for 2 hours." It highlights your effort and the passage of time. Part 2. The past tenses. Having mastered the present, we now move backward in time to the past tenses. These allow us to tell stories, share memories, and report on events that are finished. Just like the present, the past is categorized into 4 parts: the past simple, the past continuous, the past perfect, and the past perfect continuous. Let us start with the foundation of storytelling, the past simple. The past simple is used for actions that started and finished at a specific, completed time in the past. For regular verbs, we simply add ed to the end. It is the tense of history. For example, I watched a movie yesterday. Or, if you are discussing a life milestone, we graduated from university in 2015. It marks a completed point on your timeline. But what if you want to describe an action that was in the middle of happening in the past? This leads us to our second type, the past continuous. The past continuous describes an action that was in progress at a specific moment in the past. It is often used to set the scene for a story or to describe a background action. It uses was or were plus the ing verb. Imagine you are describing your evening. I was sleeping when the phone rang. The sleeping was a continuous background action. Another example would be, they were eating dinner at 8 p.m. last night. As we go deeper into the past, we encounter our third type, the past perfect. Think of the past perfect as the past of the past. We use it when we are talking about two different things that happened in the past, and we want to show which one happened first. It is formed with had plus the past participle. For example, the train had already left when I arrived at the station. Because the train left first, we use the past perfect for that action. The fourth and final past tense is the past perfect continuous. This tense describes an ongoing action that was happening in the past right up until another action occurred. It emphasizes the length of time leading up to a past event. For instance, he had been working for 10 hours before he finally went home. It shows the exhaustion and the duration of his work before the moment he left. Part 3. The future tenses. Finally, we turn our attention to the horizon, the future tenses. These allow us to express our plans, our predictions, and our intentions. Following our established pattern, the future also has 4 types: the future simple, the future continuous, the future perfect, and the future perfect continuous. We begin with the most common way to look ahead, the future simple. We use the future simple to make predictions, promises, or sudden decisions made at the moment of speaking. The most common way to form this is using the word will. If you are guessing the weather, you might say, I think it will rain tomorrow. If you are making a promise to a friend, you would say, I will help you with your English. It is a simple, direct way to point toward the future. Next, we have the second type, which focuses on a specific moment, the future continuous. The future continuous describes an action that will be in the middle of happening at a specific time in the future. It uses will be plus the ing verb. This is great for describing your schedule. For example, at this time tomorrow, I will be flying to New York. Or, to avoid a distraction, don't call me at 9 p.m. because I will be watching a movie. The third type is used for looking back from a point in the future, the future perfect. The future perfect describes an action that will be completely finished by a specific point in the future. It uses will have plus the past participle. Imagine your future goals. By next year, I will have graduated from college. You are standing in the future and looking back at a completed task. Another example. They will have finished the project by Friday. Lastly, we reach the 12th and final tense, the future perfect continuous. This is the rarest tense in English, but it is very useful for showing duration into the future. It describes how long an action will have been happening by a certain future time. For example, by 5 p.m., I will have been working for 8 hours. Or, next month, she will have been living in this city for a year. It measures the length of an ongoing future state. Conclusion: mastering the timeline. Understanding these 12 tenses is like learning the different gears on a bicycle. At first, it may feel difficult to switch between them, but with practice, it becomes instinctive. The tenses allow you to communicate not just what happened, but when and how it relates to the rest of your life. At the Academy of English Excellence, we recommend practicing one group at a time. Start by describing your daily routine using the present simple. Then, move to the past to describe your childhood. Finally, use the future to describe your dreams. Thank you for joining us for this comprehensive guide to English tenses. By studying these structures, you are building a solid foundation for your language journey. Continue to practice, be patient with yourself, and you will undoubtedly achieve excellence. This concludes our lesson. We look forward to seeing you in our next session.